I've wanted to have like an animated intro in my videos for the longest time. It feels so cold and empty without a snappy, cute intro. I told this guy I knew who was handy in the digital arts. I said, hey friend, I want you to make like a chibi me, you know, chibi. I want her to skip across the screen with really pretty music, and then I want this giant book just to crush her, and like pixie dust explodes because she died. I had just 3 seconds of that. I thought it would be cool. He looked very concerned. So short story version, I don't have an intro, and I think I lost a friend. How you guys doing? It's me, your girl, your Casey. What is up, Buttercup? So the booktubes have converted me in the very, very beginning of the booktube career to thrillers. Thrillers were a genre I didn't know I liked at the time. But now I love them, but I'm really, really picky about them. Because like, to get that perfect 5-star score from me, gotta have the killer beginning, the tense middle bits that has me constantly second guessing myself and feeling watched, an extremely likable protagonist, and you gotta nail that ending, just beautiful. I think the only 2 thrillers I've ever given a 5-star were The Wife Between Us and Home Before Dark. Those were some good smashing hits, but like I said, I'm very, very picky with thrillers. They tend to be the ones I DNF the most. Also, I am quite intelligent, like stunning and smart. What is this? Some thrillers are just so obvious that I guess the twist in like the first 100 pages. I Google it, prove that I'm right, and then I DNF the book. I also like thrillers that are really fast-paced. Little description, like just keep me going. Don't give me time to think, because if I think, I'll guess the twist. One author who is really bad at this is Ruth Ware. She's very descriptive. It's usually really obvious who did what. So she's actually my least favorite thriller author. I probably shouldn't have told you yet because we're doing the thrilling thriller thrills tag. Thrilling thriller book tag, something like that. That's gonna probably be one of the questions. Who's your least favorite thriller author? But there's only one way to find out for sure. We need to actually do this tag. I honestly haven't seen a lot of tags that just specifically target thrillers, so this is dope. And now, first question, what was the last thriller you bought? That would be The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. I've read a Lisa Jewell book before, did not like it. Like, I DNF'd that book really fast. Was it called I See You? Yes, it was. Wait, no, that was by Claire McIntosh. Lisa Jewell wrote Watching You. I remembered. Stunning and smart. But I decided to give Lisa Jewell another chance because I saw this cover and it looks angsty. All black with a single purple flower about to bloom, so you know something's about to happen. This book is about a family. Say it with me. Stunning and smart detective skills. Our girl Libby Jones. She's been waiting for an answer to one question for her whole life. She wants to know who she is. So I'm guessing she takes like one of those like ancestry tests. Oh, she gets the result. She realizes she is the survivor of a weird massacre that happened at this really creepy house. In this house, the massacre that happened 25 years ago, everyone in the house but this baby, who is not said explicitly is our girl Libby, but it's gonna be our girl Libby, I feel it. Everybody but the baby died, and all the children except the mystery baby disappeared. And now Libby, our girl, she's ready to like adventure back into that house to like piece together more puzzle pieces from her past. But it turns out that someone has been waiting for her to realize who she is this entire time. I'm gonna call it someone's living in the air vents. There are imposters among us. This book has a lot of blurbs on the back. Do you guys trust blurbs? I really don't trust blurbs, especially blurbs by Ruth Ware. Question number 2. Show us the thriller you most recently added to your TBR. So it's literally the last day of February when I'm filming this. So the last thriller I read for February's TBR was, of course, The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. I have a lot to say about that in the March wrap-up. No wait, the February wrap-up, which is coming out in March, okay? But I have already decided March's TBR. So let me see if there's actually... Did I put a thriller on my TBR? I'm kind of battling a weird reading slump. Like, I want to read, but I'm also really picky right now about what I read. I DNF'd a lot in February and I feel really angry. Like, not sad, I'm just angry. I didn't put a thriller on my March TBR. I put Bird Box on my TBR. That's thrilling. People are dying everywhere. What greater thrill is that? Let's speak a little bit about Ruth Ware, the woman in Cabin 10. I guessed who it was in 100 pages. It was really obvious. I have 2 rules when I'm reading thrillers. Number 1, I won't speak of right now, but number 2, if the author is calling attention to a specific item of clothing every time the person comes on the page, they did it. That rule has not let me down yet. Number 3, what thriller did you have high expectations for but ultimately let you down? Girl on the Train. Like, in the thriller community, that book is everywhere. Like, it's one of the best besides Gone Girl, which I still haven't read yet and I really want to. Gone Girl, Girl on the Train. And Girl on the Train is actually a pretty short thriller, so I was excited to get it. It was on sale and I read it really fast. And it didn't excite me at all. Like, I was just reading it because, oh my gosh, this is the girl on the train. I should read it, finish it, see what the buzz is about. Maybe there's this amazing plot twist at the end that'll make it all worth it. So I don't know if this is correct, but I'm pretty sure that one of the most common tropes seen in thrillers is an alcoholic narrator or an alcoholic protagonist, because I literally see them all the time. And because they're always getting the drunk, they're always the blacking out. So they're unreliable narrators and it drives me crazy. The main protagonist of The Girl on the Train, she blacked out a lot. She drank a lot of hard liquor. And not only because she was passed out all the time, she was practically useless. She was so unhelpful. Like, this mystery happens, okay? And she witnesses it from the window of the train she was on. And so now she has this burning desire to see, like, hey, I want to know what happened. So she's literally butting herself into these people's lives and she's just making a mess everywhere. Like, she's not being sneaky or clever. Everyone is getting fed up with her. I'm getting fed up with her. And we only have like 3 possible culprits in this book. Like, we know the person who did it is a man, like, most likely. I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering right, it's obvious the killer or the culprit. I can't actually remember the actual crime. Maybe it was a kidnapper, but we know it's a man. We got like 4 men in the book. I remember 3 of them, actually 4. One of them was the obvious red herring. I think he actually had red hair. So I'm like, it's not you. The second one was way too nice. Like, we know it's not this guy. I know you're trying to pin it on this guy, but it's just not gonna happen. And the third guy is the butthole, the obvious one who did it. Maybe there was a 4th guy running around to cause more confusion in the book, but I don't think so. Also, everyone was cheating on each other with this book. What's up with that? That's not nice. Like, I pretty much knew who did it right away. I wasn't thrilled. I mean, the only thing I really related to with one of the lady protagonists was that she hated nannying and she hated children. I respect that and feel that down to my very soul. But other than that, it was just a read. Okay, question 4. What tropes do I love and hate in thriller books? Okay, as mentioned, I hate the alcoholic main protagonist. It's everywhere and I'm so tired of it. Usually in books like YA or fantasy, I'm a big fan of an amnesia trope, but I don't think I like it that much in thrillers. Because I always feel like it's always shoved in, like, so conveniently. Like, they get their memories back at the most opportune time. And I'm like, oh, well, that was handy. One trope, and I don't think it's just for thrillers, it's when our protagonist gets framed for something. A framing story, actually, it's not a trope I like because it's a good trope and it gives me anxiety. And I'm just like, yeah, I can't take this anymore, my heart. Like, I feel bad for a protagonist then. So it causes me physical distress to read this trope, but it's also like a good one for being able to do that to me. But my favorite trope in a thriller, I think it's like just the stalker vibe, like a stalker story, like someone's watching you, don't know who it is, you don't know where they're at, they could be behind you right now. Literally look behind you right now. I love when thrillers get really like in your head, psychological. The best thing a thriller can do to me is be in the evil person, the antagonist point of view. I've only read 1 thriller like that so far. Actually, technically 2. I can't tell you what the second one was because it's a spoiler, like humongous spoiler. But the first one was The Perfect Girlfriend, which is from the crazy girlfriend's point of view, which I was like, I like this. She's nuts. Oh, My Lovely Wife. That one's from like the point of view of a dude. Like, I can't talk. Thrillers are usually from a girl's point of view. Like, I was actually excited to get My Lovely Wife and like have a guy's point of view. I think I've only actually read 2 thriller books, My Lovely Wife and The Breakdown, Bring Me Back by B.A. Paris. Those are the only 2 thriller books I read from a male protagonist point of view. It shakes things up a little bit. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so My Lovely Wife, it was from the husband's point of view. The husband, who of course has a wife, and they like to go out and kill people for fun and date nights. So yeah, evil person's point of view. I love that in a thriller. It's very rare, but I like it. Throw in an evil twin in the thriller. Dope as coke. Number 5, recommend an underrated thriller. Okay, we just talked about B.A. Paris. My first B.A. Paris book I read, which I think was actually my second thriller book ever that I read, was Behind Closed Doors. Really love that thriller. I honestly think it didn't really give me that climactic ending that I want, like the way someone died didn't excite me. I want a murder to be exciting. This one was just like, come on, try harder. Step up the game. But this thriller, without giving too much away, it made me feel like I was the girl in the book, and feeling what she was feeling, I felt so trapped and helpless, and I like getting that emotion out of me with a good thriller. Like, I, alongside her, was trying to figure my way out of this horrible situation she was in, and like, I was coming up with nothing, because the person playing against her, her enemy, had her at every turn. It was like a giant chess match, and I loved it. I'm gonna look up real fast how, like, what its rating is on Goodreads. Maybe it's not even underrated. I just don't hear it talked about a lot. I read 2 other B.A. Paris books, Bring Me Back and The Breakdown. The Breakdown, I guessed the twist right away. Bring Me Back was good, but it's not like it's not that exceptional to me. It was just good for like a first time read. But Behind Closed Doors, I want to reread it. It was that good. Behind Closed Doors has a 3.95, which is a really good thriller score, so not underrated really, but go read it. Oh, okay, this next question, question 6, involves you guys commenting. So you better comment, or I'ma be the thriller antagonist in your story. I'm coming for your kneecaps and your toe rings. Anyways, pick 3 thrillers from your shelves. 2 I've read, and 1 I haven't. Get your viewers to comment which one they think you haven't read. Alright mateys, time to put your thinking caps on. 2 books I've read, 1 I haven't. You have to guess which one I haven't read. So, we got Final Girls by Riley Sager. We also have another Riley Sager book called The Last Time I Lied. And lastly, we have another thriller, surprise, called Never Let You Go. So, scrutinize. Try to read from my facial expression. Which one have I read? Which 2 have I read? And which one I haven't? If you watched my bookshelf tour, you'll know which one I haven't read. But I don't know what I was going to say. Just go watch my bookshelf tour. It's pretty dope. Number 7. People are often intimidated by the thriller genre. Recommend a thriller for beginners. Okay. The first thriller book I read was An Anonymous Girl by Gavir, Hendricks, and Sarah Peckinen. That one was a really good one. Like, I wish y'all could have felt what I was feeling when I was reading that book. I was hooked. Again, the ending was a little bit of a letdown for me, but I don't know your taste, so you might like it. So I recommend An Anonymous Girl, The Life Between Us by the same authors, Riley Sager, Lock Every Door, Home Before Dark. Both so good. Basically every thriller I've mentioned and said that I loved, you should read. Beginner or expert, you should read them. What is my all-time favorite thriller? I think that's actually The Wife Between Us by Sarah Peckinen and Gavir Hendricks. Because, like, honestly, it's not some super suspenseful chase or not doing something crazy. It's literally a tale about this wife and her husband and this other girl who gets in between them. And it's really, like, cozy. It's domestic. It's about the characters, and it's all about just the little things that add up and the mind tricks that can happen, intentional and unintentional, like the tricks people can play on you and the tricks you can play on yourself. Also, I think my review of The Wife Between Us has over 1,000 views, and I don't understand why. It's a very bad review. So that just means people are looking it up because they've heard it's awesome. So you should read it. Also, Gavir Hendricks and Sarah Peckinen, they can just write food really well. Like, I get really hungry when I'm reading their books. But if you guys are hungry right now, you can turn the video off because we're done. Wasn't that a thrilling video? Give this video a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads. Smash that like button and lock it up in your torture dungeon downstairs like a lot of thriller books actually have. I would love to have a torture dungeon in my future house. It would just be like panels of Kafka on the shore passages just all over the walls. People would freak out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I implore you to go read some amazing thrillers. But until next time, my friends, stay reading, my friends. Read those thrillers. I'll know if you don't.